And here we are, the last mission before we're done with Kunoichi. How encouraging! Our success last time means we're gonna be fighting an uphill battle for survival this time. If anything, the biggest difference seems to be that Kunoichi isn't inclined to abandon her lord when he's uninjured, but did when he was crippled for frickin' life. Anyone else find that odd? If anything, I'd have thought him being injured would mean she'd hover over him a lot more. So many generic officers serving Ieyasu here. Good God, it does not look good when you see that many repeating faces and armor configurations in the same scene. Though I'm not sure if that's better or worse than having a scene that feels like it's got too few people in it. It's also rather empty, since in this campaign we damn well know he's not going to be fighting alone. That was more of a thing in Yukimura's actual campaign. Here, it's Kunoichi's job to lift most of the work. Bloody hell, Yukimura is talking as if Kunoichi has not been kicking copious amounts of ass without him. Absolutely none of the dialogue so far takes into account the fact that Kunoichi is the player character now. And I can't help being annoyed even if I liked this mission first time we went through it. Still, at least I remembered it well enough to know what the first objective would be. It's actually kind of hilarious how I can remember objectives in a mission like this that we went through so long ago, but not the layout of the mission castles when we go through the same castles over and over again very frequently. But we haven't fought from the Toyotomi side of this battle since the very first campaign in this game. Just strikes me as a bit weird how my own memory works. Okay, if Ieyasu changed his name to Tokugawa, is there a particular reason so many of his clanmates just kept their name at Matsudaira despite the clan name change? I'm sorry, but it just kind of feels baffling to me, but then the very idea of various lords changing their name on a whim just feels strange as well. Anyone else hoping this mission is gonna throw a good amount of stuff that Yukimura's version of it didn't? Not that this is a bad mission, just I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but I'll say it again. The design for these cannons is just bad. If this game was going for a more cartoony aesthetic, then it'd be perfectly fine, but for the most part, it's trying to look reasonably realistic. Sure, we had a little kid killing people with wooden swords, and another little kid ripping apart entire armies with a childish toy, but I will remind you that I don't like the looks of those two characters either. They just feel inconsistent compared to everything else. Not really sure why Goemon doesn't give me the same issue appearance-wise in this game, but that's how I feel. How the hell is his morale dropping when he isn't fighting yet? And how long until we get the objective to go see Hideyori? Sorry to have to tell you this, Yukimura, but they did all die in vain. This is a losing battle, and you damn well know it!
キムラ様には任せてられないもんね。実は真田丸にも抜け道があるのよね。
That looks less like a secret passage and more like somebody didn't get the chance to fix that part of the broken wall.
開けるな。真田は敵に通じ通りやもしれぬ。開けてしまえば本丸が危うくなるしな。
The castle is going to be in danger regardless of if you want to risk it, you moron. Or have you not noticed the massive army fighting its way through our forces and gaining ground at a steady pace?
勝長殿であれば、あるいは
押されておるのか、ひるむな。手強いようだな。
Definitely not seeing too much of a difference between now and the last time we fought our way through this mission. At best, it's just a smoother, less challenging ride for some reason.
わかった。出陣出そう。
ここで死ぬのも後で死ぬのも同じだもんね。
Well, there is a bit of a difference between dying now and later. The difference is usually how we choose to die in this situation. So if we want to get the ending we're aiming for, we're going to have to try avoiding death as long as possible, while sending plenty of the other guys down as possible. And again, I have the distinct feeling the ending for this campaign just isn't going to feel as awesome to me as Yukimura's. Can't help feeling awkward that one of the best endings in the game was one of the first ones we went through. Great, now we're just waiting for Masamune to pop in. Assuming he isn't dead, I'm kinda losing track given all the missions we've already gone through in this game. 66 at this point, and growing by the frickin'... Guess we'll know if his army pops up out of nowhere at the Northwest Gate. Given how badly the rest of our army is doing right now, I certainly hope he doesn't show up. We've got more than enough to keep us busy, since we're not playing as someone who's especially great at crowd control. Ah, so he did show up at a completely different entrance. Not that it changes things up enough for me to feel like this mission has its own identity in this campaign, but still, a difference is a difference.
城から出ることなどできる。
もうめんどくさいわな。わかったわよ。城の隅でガタガタ震えて待ってなさい。
I'd probably say something about the sheer lack of respect that Hideori has, considering he's the key part of our last stand against the Tokugawa. But to be fair, he was a figurehead pretty much the instant his father Hideyoshi died, which is probably one of the major reasons Ieyasu decided to take the opportunity to seize power. Even when the victor of the post-Hideyoshi conflict was in the air, Hideori didn't make any of the decisions and did little, if any, fighting. I've got more sympathy for him than Katsuyori Takeda. It's not like he chose to be born into a leadership position and didn't have that undefinable spark that would propel him to even half the greatness he needed in order to hold on to what his father had given him. Still, even historically speaking, there was little point in the Sanada making this last stand here. Any chance anyone had to take power away from Ieyasu died the moment Mitsunari Yoshida did. And again, it's very awkward that we're fighting this far ahead in the timeline, when all of the very interesting things between Hideyoshi's death and this battle haven't been touched on in the least. Again, it makes me wonder how they decided on which characters and which events to include in the first Samurai Warriors game, considering how it all doesn't quite seem to come together. There are some nice ideas, but not nearly as many as I remembered before I started this LP. And apparently nobody's gonna be commenting on the fact that we just fought against a member of the Uesugi clan. The same clan we fought back in the first mission of this same campaign. Ugh, feel like the only one paying attention around here. Then just swing your sword and you'll start hitting some of the bastards. Masamune, her blades are outright clipping through your wooden toys. This doesn't look good for you in any sense of the phrase. Right, now that he's down, time for us to start looking for healing items. And I'm really hoping that once Yukimura starts his charge, we won't have to worry about a lack of healing items in this take of the mission. How does the isolated Lone Wolf Yukimura count as a main camp? And why didn't we get any notifications of him being under attack before, when he was in the thickest of the action? It'll only be challenging for as long as it takes for us to find some food. I wonder why the guy to our immediate south hasn't pushed forward yet. Or why the enemy never bothered trying to swarm their way through the northwest gate. I think we can trust these guys to hold their own against the rest of these grunts while we charge southward. Wait, we have two guys who count as the main camp? And of course, trying to check their status in the pause screen doesn't actually tell us anything useful aside from their current position. Why am I not surprised that the screen that's supposed to tell us how our allies are doing is about as useless as the morale meter and our allies themselves? And now there's just two enemy officers, or at least just two that are visible on the minimap right now. Hanzo's probably gonna pop out of nowhere again at some point. We've also got a collection of enemies in the southeast that might trigger something once we get in there. No. I refuse to babysit two people who aren't even in the same position. I also refuse to believe that the enemy's morale is still this high when it looks like a very significant section of their army no longer exists, while a good amount of our guys are still in the field. Bloody hell, I may as well start fast-forwarding, if only to see if another objective starts up at some point. I know, I probably could have ended this a good deal sooner if I just went to the southeast collection of enemy troops like I said I would. For some reason, I was expecting the game to trigger something that would spark Yukimura's cutscene, where he makes his charge, and that would prompt the rest of our allies to swarm southward as well. But no, the guy doesn't look like he's gonna budge, and neither are any of the other officers we've got left on our side. Also, it doesn't seem like Hanzo is gonna make any aggressive moves out here, and he's probably just staying close to Ieyasu as a last line of defense. Assuming, of course, the game designers bothered putting that much thought into this take of the goddamn mission. Actually, wait. Just remembered that Hanzo was the last guy Yukimura fought in his campaign when we got to this mission with him. So I suppose they can get away with little to no thought put into this mission. Still, doesn't change the fact that for some reason, I was expecting more from this, considering how much fun we had going through this same mission in the first campaign of the game. Yeah, you can clearly tell they designed this mission with Yukimura in mind, and just slapped Kunoichi into the same side of the same battle, instead of doing anything to really make this feel like part of her individual story. Granted, even as half-assed as Kunoichi's campaign has been, it still feels a hell of a lot better thought out than Masamune's. So now Yukimura finally decides to make his last push. Wish I knew why it took so long for him to make that decision. For a game that makes sure the player's actions are the only ones on our side that make a difference in the battle at large, they certainly have a lot of moments where we have to wait for someone else on our side to decide to take the next step that lets us make some actual progress.
雪村様は張り切ってるけど、今のままじゃ徳川本陣には行けないのよね。でも
Girl, we cleared the map of just about everyone. What do you mean Yukimura won't be able to make it? And why did I only just notice this path?
こんなところに兵力発見。
I'm not too sure there's much of a point taking their supply depot when all but Yukimura has decided to sit around doing nothing, and our main character here thinks that Yukimura's charge isn't going to mean a damn thing. Seriously, just what the hell is with the narrative and the mission design at this point? Well, their morale didn't drop anywhere near as much as it should have, considering everything we've done to them over the course of this goddamn mission. And finally, we run into Hanzo. I think that's the first time in this entire game that anyone has thrown a shuriken. Odd considering how many generic ninjas we've dealt with over the course of the game, though not as odd as how little effort they put into this rivalry between the supposed stealth experts in this game. Again, that feels like inspiration for me to start going through Naruto games, and it's not helped by the fact that Hanzo outright called Kunoichi a kitsune, or fox. Not that she did anything that seemed especially tricky like a fox. Ugh.
真田の軍略変化に知らせ
Sorry, Yukimura, a little busy with an epic duel against our rival here. To be fair, he's putting up a much better fight than usual. Understandable, since we won't be able to play as Kunoichi again until the third game. I just wish she had a better send-off than this, considering her combat style and personality are actually kind of endearing, even if the story behind her is rather lackluster. Oh, you only just noticed? He's been surrounded for a while now! What do you mean Yukimura defeated the Tokugawa army? I know this ending would be bullshit, but dear God!
これにて一件落着
Does it say something about me that I prefer the ending where the hero dies surrounded by his foes and earning the enemy leader's respect over everyone living happily ever after? Okay, why the hell did she get to steal an X-Man's codename? If anything, Hanzo was more deserving of that. So we're not even gonna acknowledge Hideyori in this fantasy scene of our victory. Poor bastard just gets no respect.
そこまでだ
Wait, who is she fighting now? Oh, what the fuck? I'm sorry, but I failed to see why she decided to take her clothes off here. At least when Naruto does his sexy no jutsu thing, he's trying to get an unexpected advantage over somebody. And why did she get rid of her 2 massive blades when she was being attacked by 3 generic, unarmored samurai? As if I needed more reasons to want to go to the Hidden Leaf Village for a while and get away from this.